if we look at this first problem, we see that there is a plus sign with two sets of parentheses. Whenever you have a parenthesis and there is an operation in front, please double check to make sure it's distributed or not. And here, I don't need to distribute it because it's a plus sign. Because positive, there's no number here, so I assume it's 1. Positive 1 times 3 will not change the sign. It's still going to be positive. And positive times a negative 7 is still negative 7. So what I'm going to do now is just carry down everything else that I see in front. Now that we have that, everything is simplified except for the fact that we have common or like terms. I have a positive x here, and I have a positive 3x. Since those are common like terms, I'm going to combine them. So 1x, I assume that that is a 1. 1x and 3x is going to add to 4x. Our other like term we notice is positive 3 and negative 7. So I'm going to combine my like terms. 3 minus 7 is negative 4. And that's all we need to do. I cannot combine 4x and negative 4 because they are not like terms. Either they both don't have an x or they both don't just have a constant. And that is all. All right, if we look at this first example, we see that it's asking us to simplify our algebraic expressions again. And we notice that we have parentheses. So remember, we always simplify parentheses. If I look inside, I do not see like terms. Both of these variables do not have a w. So the only thing I can do to get rid of parentheses is to distribute whatever is in front of the parenthesis. And I notice here I have a positive 2. What I'm going to do is distribute my 2 to everything inside. So I'm going to copy down that 3w first. And then since this was a positive 2 times 2, it's going to be a positive 4. The next thing I'm going to do is positive 2 and multiply it by negative. A positive times a negative we know is a negative. And now 2 times the coefficient of 3 is 6. And there is 1w attached to it. And then I'm going to carry the plus 2 down. All right. The next step we're going to do is simplify even further. I have my parentheses gone, and now all we have left are like terms. The first term I see here is a 3w. So I need to look, do I see another w in this expression? And I do. I have a negative 6w. So if I combine negative 6 and positive 3, we get negative 3. And then they both have a w, so I'm going to keep my w with it. The next thing we have are our two constants. I have a positive 4 and a positive 2. And positive 4 plus positive 2 is 6. And if I look at those two terms, negative 3w plus 6, they are not like terms, therefore I am complete. And please note, I did put my variable first. This is called standard form. When you have the highest exponent to the least. I have a w to the first power here, so I'm going to put that first, and I have no w. I have a w to the 0 power, so that's why that's going to be second. And that is all. Please complete the next problem. All right, looking at this last problem for today, we notice that we once again need to simplify our algebraic expression. And we do notice there is a number in front of our parentheses. I notice there's also another number in this back over here of negative 4 that's also in front of this set of parentheses. So If I look inside those parentheses, I have -5 plus 4n. They are not like terms, therefore I cannot combine them together, so I cannot simplify to get rid of my parentheses. The only method to get rid of parentheses in this case is to distribute -2 to both -5 and to 4n. So I'm going to multiply -2 times -5, and we get +10. I'm then going to multiply -2 times +4, which is -8. And then I'm going to carry down that n variable with my -8. Next, we're going to do the same thing, but with the second set of parentheses. I see that there's a number -4, so I'm going to distribute that -4 to the 3, and that -4 to the +6n. Now, keep in mind that the negative sign needs to get distributed to both the 3 and the 6n. If you do not, then your simplification will not be accurate. So -4 and +3 multiplies to -12. And -4 times positive is a negative. We notice that a 4 times 6 is going to be 24. And there is a variable, so I'm going to carry down that n. Finally, we see that we have no more parentheses, but we do have two different types of terms. The first thing we always do is look at your variables. I have a -8n, and I have a -24n. Since they are both negative, I'm going to carry my sign of negative and then add the numbers. 8 and 24 is 32. And then they both have a variable of n. So I'm going to carry that variable of n. The last step is we are going to look at the constants that we have, 10 minus 12. So 10 and -12, we're going to subtract to get -2. And since -32n and -2 are not like terms, I cannot combine any further. So therefore, that is my simplified algebraic expression.